Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Kati and today I want to talk to you about how do I get ready for a trip in my systems, so planner, journal, and what do I carry with me when we are on the road. I think for me the most important thing is to pre-plan. So to get ready, I plan ahead in my journal. So at least a week, maybe even 2 weeks before, I check forward and kind of like move tasks so that I would do tasks beforehand. For example, I may need to film a YouTube video earlier than usually so that I have the video for the week and maybe that I don't need to film immediately after the trip. Yeah, that's a good example because I don't usually have the energy to film right afterwards. So I just have to take everything in consideration in my plan. And that's also so good for the trip because when I have taken care of everything, paid the bills and everything like that, I can just relax. I don't need to be like worrying like, oh, was there something that I should have done today? No, I have taken care of everything. So I have checked my calendar for everything that's coming. I have checked my deadlines list and I have checked my waiting for and just I have checked everything and I have taken care that there is nothing that I would need to do on the trip. And if there is, I have it like separate somewhere that I would remember to do it. But because I don't usually carry any laptop or anything like that that would make things easy to do, and I don't have the time or I don't want to do the normal things when we are traveling. When we are traveling, that's free time and family time and fun time, and no, not those everyday tasks. No, thank you. So, what I will carry with me. Previously, as I fell in love with the pocket rings, and I have now, this is my planner. This is everything important what I have in paper form. I also use an electronic calendar and notes and so on, but this is everything in paper form, all my important dates and plans. And yes, I have also a electronic to-do app where I have things that are reoccurring, all my reoccurring tasks. So I also check that in advance, what there is coming, those reoccurring tasks, if I need to or want to take care of something beforehand. But so this is all in paper form, and previously, because I was in this small, well, it's kind of small, but it's not so small, in these pocket rings, I carried this with me. Of course, it was so early in the relationship, and when we were going somewhere for 2 nights, I took this with me, but I didn't even touch my planner. When we were in a hotel, I just put this in the hotel safe in the room because this was so precious. What would I do if I would lose my planner? So I put it in the safe and then I took it out just before we left and I didn't touch it. So that doesn't make any sense to carry this with me if I'm just worried that I'm going to lose it. So it's better to leave home, and when I have taken care of all the important tasks before the trip, I don't even need this. The other thing that I was carrying with me when we were traveling was my journal. So this contains my daily journal. It's just a traveler's company.grit notebook where I journal every day. And that's a lovely idea. That's again how they call it, like my fantasy self. I have heard that term. So that's my fantasy self that's journaling on the trip, having the time to write about a day and all what's happened and so on. No, I'm sorry, but it's not happening. It's just I don't have my own time in that way when we are traveling. So I don't have the mental space or energy to journal when we are traveling. So there is like no point carrying this. I have carried this, and I think I will carry this on some trips when there is like even a theoretical opportunity that I would be able to journal. On short trips that barely happens, but I do take just this insert with me, and when I had my pocket rings I put it here in the back pocket and it traveled there nicely. So because I try to have as little as possible to carry with me. You would laugh if you would know how much I carry with me when I'm traveling. So everything that I can leave at home, that's a win. But if I take my journal, I need the pens that I use with my journal. So that means that I take these two fountain pens, which I use in my journal. With this pen, this is an extra fine, so I write teeny tiny what all I have done during the day, so like a daily log. And then this sailor, this is a medium fine, this I use to write about my feelings and my thoughts about what happened today. So if I would take my journal, I would also need these two pens. And at home I use this date stamp in my journal. I may be there to show you today. So here, this is what I have in the beginning. I have the date here, and then I write the day, like the weekday. This is Thursday. Then here is the space where I write what I have done. So I always have the color of the day here, so I make a frame for the things. And then here I start with one thing that I'm grateful for, and then here I have space to write about the day. So, but when I'm traveling, oh yes, actually I use a third fountain pen for that weekday. So yes, but these are things that I'm not taking with me when traveling. I can do this afterwards. Of course, if I would be sure that I only need one page, I could do this beforehand, but I would rather do it afterwards when I'm sure how much space each day needs. But this would be the minimum what I need if I would take my journal with me. And then, of course, if I take my planner and my journal, this is the pencil pouch that I now take with me, and I use these to track different things in my planner, so then I would need to take those. These I use in my planner to mark tasks done or unnecessary and so. But then I wouldn't need these because these I use in my spending tracker, so I don't take those with me. So what we have left, then I have one extra friction here, and then this black and gray. I don't think I would necessarily need these ones, but of course they do come along. So let's pretend that I'm taking my journal with me. It's a bit tight. Whoa. Yeah, so that's all what I even can fit in here, and that's all what I would take with me. And maybe that would help if I would, well, if I'm not taking my journal, I don't need the fountain pens, and so then there is a little, and if I'm not taking my planner, I don't even need these pens. So if I would like to travel very light, I would leave the journal home and I would just take, well, yes. So after I decided that this is excess, I try to travel with the mini rings. So that was my previous video where I showed you what I have in this current mini ring setup. So I took this one on the previous trip and just wrote my daily log here, and that was enough, and I thought that this would be maybe enough when traveling. But now I'm in this cover. Again, I feel like this is like too much. I don't need everything what's in here. And maybe this is also again like too fancy to travel with, because a fountain pen that can be a bit tricky and so on. So I actually made myself a new travel setup, because I have this Fjällräven passport cover and I just love it, but I haven't now had a use for it. So then I just was like, oh, maybe I could start using this when traveling. So this is like my mini rings but in travel form, and that's doesn't make any sense, but let me explain. So here I just put a random passport notebook. So I had this one in my stash. This is a Muji passport notebook. It doesn't matter what it is because it's just for random notes that I'm going to throw afterwards. And then I had this pen loop that I had made for, actually I made this one for when I was having my mini rings in this cover, because that color was perfect for this cover. But now I taped it here, and I chose this from my stash because I thought when traveling it would be good to have a pen without a cap, so I'm not in risk losing the cap, and it would be good to have a pen that's low risk of smearing or making a mess. So I have these Chilio nice pens that they say are worth like 70 euros. I would never pay 70 euros for this, but I have them because I have bought a few covers from Gilio, so, and I never used these pens, so now I was like, maybe now this would be a good place to use these pens. And I would just write here my daily log, and I thought here on front I would write the daily log, so everything what happens, what I do, and then here in the back I would write my to-dos. So any tasks, ideas I would come up with during the travel. And then after the travel, why I would do it like that, because then I could take these pages out, and if I take the first one and the last one, I'm not like losing any pages. So that would be nice. So then I have, every time I travel, I have a clean slate here, and I'm excited to try this out. So I haven't tried this yet, but there is soon again coming a short weekend trip, so I will try this out. And I don't like see any reason why this wouldn't work compared to, for example, this. I just thought that this would be like less hassle. I'm not losing any pages, and because this has a zipper, everything is securely, nothing is falling out. Because when I'm traveling with this or this, these I will put in a separate pouch, just to be sure. So this would be like no need for a separate pouch. And then I put here also this Travelers Company sticker release paper insert. It has been so long when I bought this. What's that? Oh, a sticky note. So, but I don't use it. So, but now I thought that, well, maybe if I would have it on the go, I could put here if I get something that I would like to save. So I'm trying if this would work now on the go. So it fits here. And then if I would like to take the journal now with me, I could put it here. And it fits nicely. So I would have then 3 passport size inserts in this cover. I think I would even could fit a 4th one, but I don't know what that would be then. But I think this would be nice. Then I could here, it has these credit card pockets. I could save here any receipts, any tags, anything that I would like to save and put in my journal afterwards. And this I put here just as a decoration. And well, I use these to cut my washi, but I don't know why would I need that on the go, because I don't have any washi with me, but I just thought it would be good here. And then here is also a zipper pocket. Actually, yes, I could put here the stamps that I have carried with me. Oh, that's a good idea. I have carried here. I don't actually know if they are here or if I left them in my... No, they are in my tabak. I have to take out the stamps and put them in here. So that's just for if I want to randomly on a whim send a postcard, so then I would have stamps here. Oh, that's a good idea. I have to put them here. So I'm kind of excited now about the next trip so that I can test this out. And I don't know how dirty this will get, but of course that's like kind of the idea of carrying something with you. But I just love this. I just love this color. I bought this with a gift card. So I don't now remember what was... Oh, I think this color was called Deep Patina. I don't know if they are still selling it. I will check it out and put the information here what this was called and so. But I love it. So now I'm happy that I got an idea of how to use it. And I'm pretty excited, and I think this will be a perfect solution for traveling. Yeah, let's see. So, but that was my messy update on what I take with me on a trip and how I prepare for a trip. And I think the preparing phase is the most important one. Like, it's not so important what I take with me, but it's important that I'm prepared and that I have like planned everything before so that I can enjoy the trip and not worry about any everyday life things. I'm so happy about my setup, or like my trio here. This is so... It just feels good when you find something that you love, that works, that sparks joy, but also you want to use it. You want to write the things down, and I just need to lower any friction that there might be between my system and myself. And I just need to find the things that work. And I love this cover, so that's not a problem here. And this, I think these can be what will cause problem, but that's an easy solution. I will try these now on my first trip, but if I hate this paper, if I hate this pen or anything, I can choose, or like I can change those for the next trip. I'm so excited because this would be now for me a way to use all those passport inserts that I have in my stash that are not travelerscompany.crit inserts that I use for my journal. So I would get to use those. I can get to use any of these random pens, and I'm excited to try this now. I think this will be nice. This will be nice, and this is very lightweight, so I can actually, after this video, I will weigh these and we'll put on the screen how much they weigh. To my hand, I think this would be a little lighter, but I don't know. Let's see, the scale will tell me if I'm right or wrong. It's not a big difference, but oh my, I'm excited. So, let me know what you take with you when you are traveling. Are you carrying your planner and journal and your pens or washi or stickers? I don't know. Do you have time to journal when you are traveling? And how are you making that happen? Please let me know, because I don't know how to make it happen. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in my next video and down below in the comments. Bye bye!